Hello, this is HT Wingnet. I thought I'd bring you a quick video of the new Aorus X7 17-inch gaming notebook by the new Gigabyte company Aorus. This is, as noted, a 17-inch screen notebook. It's less than an inch thick, and comes with SLI 765M GPU and an i7 4700 HQ. That's an Intel CPU. Quick overview here. The laptop, the lid almost looks like a flecked black painted aluminum lid. It's got their logo, also metal on there. Around the laptop real quick, get this in a position where I have some good light. You've got a vent, a Ethernet port, HDMI, VGA, USB 3.0, headphone, microphone and speaker grill. Around the front, there's really nothing there. We'll flip it over to the other side, and again you got another speaker grill, SD card slot, two USB 3.0, an HDMI, looks like a display port, and a vent. And the vents go around both the sides and onto the back. So it's expelling air both on the sides and the back, which is good for cooling. Another nice thing is that it's got two USB ports, 2.0 ports in the back. Personally, I like that because I can plug my wireless mouse receiver in there, and maybe another wireless device receiver in there, so that way it's not sticking out the side. It's something that you keep in there a lot. Then your power port, it uses a 19.5 volt 180 watt power supply. So even if you want to try to overclock this sucker, I'm sure it's possible. You will have, you should be able to find larger watt power supplies. I have a 250 watt Dell that if I end up purchasing this thing, I'll test it out to see how well it works. This is a review sample provided by Aorus that I have for a few days. Thanks to them very much for allowing me to do this. And also look for a written review at NotebookReview Forums. Forums.notebookreview.com, probably either in the Gigabyte section or the gaming section of the forums there. Opening it up, it's got a 17-inch 1080p matte screen. The keyboard is awesome. It's like solid, so solid. The keys feel very, very nice. I've had the chance to type on it only for a few minutes yet, but it's just really nice. And then you've got the macro keys over here on the side, and that activates, this G key activates a macro program in Windows, so you can program these, and there's 5 different colors so that you can have up to 25 different combinations of macros. The touchpad is like it's like a glass touchpad. It does have, they're not separate switches or toggles, but it is actually a click switch, so it's not just a tap software switch. Again, this is like an aluminum frame here. Moving on around, flip this thing over. One thing to note is that this is the screws. There's a bunch of screws to get the bottom panel off, but they do make it easy to access all the components inside. User upgradable common components like the Wi-Fi card, the 2 mSATA slots, the hard drive / SSD drive. The one thing is that it doesn't use typical Phillips heads, it uses a Torx, but I use this and was able to get them off fine, so Torx 0.5 by 40. And once you get that off, you just lift it up, and voila, there's the guts of the machine. I'm sure you can recognize most of the stuff, but you got the 2 fans here. You got the CPU, the GPU, the other GPU, which are both NVIDIA GTX 765Ms. It looks like that these are joined here. There's like a copper plate underneath this black tape, which kind of joins these, so it's limited heat transfer over to this side. So most of the CPU heat goes along with this GPU off this fan. I haven't checked yet, but I'm hoping that this is the master GPU, this is the slave, so usually the master GPU in SLI gets heavier workload as temperatures run higher. You've got your two mSATA SSDs. These are Lite-Ons, and they are running in RAID 0 striped format, along with this, I believe it's a 1 terabyte hard drive here. Then you get 32 gigs of RAM, up to 32 gigs, which they have supplied in this model, 4x8. And otherwise, the battery, it's not removable. Well, I guess it is technically if you wanted to pop the cover off and swap it out, but it looks like more trouble than it's worth. But it is upgradable, I guess, down the road if it runs out of the battery runs out of juice. Got your speakers there and here, and looks like a subwoofer here. Some more tweeters there. So it's a pretty well organized PCB here with everything on the single board. CPU is soldered. It's the i7-4700HQ, so that's not removable either. So, but you know, you make some sacrifices to get a compact and gaming notebook to keep it light and thin. So all in all, I think this thing weighs about 7 pounds with all these components in it. I did weigh it before. I can go ahead and do that in a second here and show you the exact weight of this. Okay, now I've got the scale ready here. I'll go ahead and place the laptop on the scale, and if you look, that's 7 pounds 3 ounces. So that's how much that weighs. That's fully loaded, fully equipped machine, and it's very thin. I mean, when you get it, it's like, wow, this is like thin. It's in 7 pounds. I mean, that's typically what a 15-inch notebook weighs, even more with a single GPU. And the two 765Ms have the power of about a GTX 780M, as long as the SLI profiles are good. Here's the power supply. You can see that. Let's see, I got a 250 watt Dell power supply. This is 180 watt that comes with the Aorus. It's a 19.5 volt. Looks like it's a 5.5 by 2.5 millimeter plug, so it should work with standard power supplies if you want something beefier. The plug itself is a 3-prong, round ones like this, so it's pretty standard as well, so that's good to know. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed, and please look for the review coming in the near future.